I am Leo's first love, the rich heir's first love. I lost my eyesight saving him, but he fell in love with my stand-in instead. Ignoring everyone's objections, he got engaged to her. Sorry, they said. Leo's wife can't be blind. I didn't argue. I just smiled and wished them a happy engagement. Leo, his voice hoarse, asked why I wasn't angry. Didn't you love me the most? I felt nothing anymore. That night I heard he drank until his stomach bled. The next day he drove like a madman on the highway, nearly killing himself. On my 25th birthday, Leo brought his girlfriend to the party. The moment they walked in hand, I sensed the air go still. After all, I was his cherished first love, and Leo's mother had always wanted me as her daughter-in-law. Aren't you going to introduce her, Leo? I stood up with my cane and spoke calmly. Leo paused, his voice stiff. This is Lucy. She's my... He hesitated, unable or unwilling to say the truth. I'm Leo's girlfriend, Lucy said brightly. It's my first time meeting his friends. Nice to meet you all. Her cheerful, lively voice instantly won people over, yet the once bustling room suddenly went quiet, like a bucket of cold water had been poured over it. Someone noticed my expression and warned her. Are you kidding? Everyone knows Leo only wants to marry Melody. She's just a date. Don't overstep your place. For years, Leo had different women around him, but it was all an act. Since his mother passed away, he'd needed to play along to deal with his stepmother. Everyone naturally assumed Lucy was just another one of those. But the next second, Leo exploded. He raised his glass and splashed orange liquor on the speaker's face. Since when is it your business to criticize my girlfriend? Even though I couldn't see, I could imagine Leo's expression, his sharp jaw clenched, his stunning eyes blazing with anger. He was devastatingly handsome, especially angry. The man clutched his face and groaned. Leo, seriously? Before Leo could respond, Lucy's light, playful voice sounded again. She gently hit Leo. It's not his fault. You've always been popular. Your friend was just trying to be nice. I don't mind. Their flirtatious exchange stabbed my heart, making it ache. About 2 years ago, one of Leo's girlfriends had confronted me, demanding I give up my place as Leo's future wife. She'd barely finished calling me a blind girl unworthy of him when Leo went berserk, smashing a bottle over her head and drawing blood. His groupies were spoiled, but none dared mess with me after that. This was the first time Leo had brought a woman into his inner circle and defended her so fiercely. Melody, my friend beside me hesitated. That Lucy, she kind of looks like you. Leo wouldn't see her as your stand-in, would he? Though I couldn't see, I felt Lucy's challenging gaze. She was nothing like the innocent image she projected. I dug my nails into my palms and sneered. I'm blind, not dead. Why would he need a stand-in? Leo and I shared mutual friends. Months ago, they had warned me. Leo's seeing a small-time actress who looks a bit like you. Melody, be careful. We'd known each other since childhood. Despite his flirtatious image, I knew how much he cared for me. Back then, I only smiled dismissively and said I trusted him. Now, it felt like a slap in the face. As the tension thickened, Lucy eagerly placed a box in my hands. You must be Melody. Happy birthday. This is a gift from Leo and me. I tossed the gift box to the ground. Facing the darkness before me, I rasped, Leo, if she's your girlfriend, then what am I? After a brief silence, Leo's familiar voice reached me. Not just a girlfriend, I'm going to marry her. The room erupted in whispers. Has Leo lost his mind? Choosing a no-name actress over someone like Melody? It felt as if an invisible hand was crushing my heart. I could barely breathe. Then what am I? I whispered, my voice breaking. In the pin-drop silence, Leo let out a small laugh laced with guilt. Melody, my wife can't be blind. We're over. I swayed, nearly unable to stand. You know exactly why I'm like this, better than anyone. 3 years ago, a sudden earthquake buried Leo and I beneath rubble during a delayed evacuation. Waiting for rescue felt endless. As hunger and dizziness overtook us, a steel beam above Leo began to collapse. Without thinking, almost on instinct, I crawled over and shielded him, my back taking the full weight. The pain was indescribable. I blacked out, but clung to him, urging him, "Live, Leo." When I woke up, I was in the hospital. A head injury had severed my optic nerve. The doctors said surgery was too risky. I was blind, forever. Leo had once kissed my bandaged eyes, his voice trembling. "Melody, I'll marry no one but you. From now on, I'll be your eyes." And now, he was the one who despised me for being blind. "I've done my best to compensate you materially," Leo growled impatiently, snapping me back to reality. "Does moral blackmail work on you, Melody?" Everyone around us barely dared to breathe, except Lucy. She cheerfully patted his head, like calming an angry tiger. "My boyfriend is outstanding. It's normal that his ex can't let go and causes a scene," she sighed sympathetically. "Today's Melody's birthday. Let's cut her some slack." With just a few words, she painted me as the hysterical ex. Leo swallowed it whole, his face softening. "Melody, if you were as considerate as Lucy, things wouldn't have turned out this ugly." A chill spread from my heart to my limbs. I fumbled across the table and took a large gulp of my drink. The fiery liquid burned my throat, making me cough violently. People always said Leo was obsessive and temperamental, yet he loved me fiercely and had never raised his voice at me. For over 20 years we had shared every joy. Whenever I was confused or distressed, he listened, comforted me. I couldn't understand it. How did the proud, radiant boy in my memories change his heart so completely? But since it had come to this, Melody still had her dignity. "With everyone here," I said, "let's make it official." With stinging eyes, I reached for the necklace around my neck. It was Leo's birthday gift from last year, designed by a famous local designer. Inside the pendant were our initials. I cherished it, wore it even while bathing, often touching it unconsciously and smiling. Now, calmly, I removed it and held it out into the empty darkness. "Leo," as everyone stared in shock, I curled my lips into a gentle smile. "Congratulations on your engagement, in advance." Clearly not expecting this, Leo cursed under his breath and kicked the table leg in frustration, an icy aura radiating from him. Others lowered their heads, not daring to speak. "Looks like I came at the wrong time. Why does everyone look so grim?" As the tension hung heavy, footsteps approached with the evening breeze. The faint scent of wood reached my nose. I nodded towards the newcomer. "Justin, you're here?" Justin was the Booth's eldest son. Our villas used to be next to each other. I loved visiting him in my princess dresses. Though we lost contact after he went abroad to study medicine, I'd always thought of him as my half-brother. "Long time no see, Melody," he said. "Are you sure today's your birthday?" I hesitated, then nodded. Justin surveyed the room, speaking teasingly. "From the looks of this party, I thought it was Leo's engagement to some unknown actress." He emphasized unknown actress. As expected, Lucy snapped first. "Who are you? Don't you know how to respect women? Can you even speak properly?" Justin ignored her and turned to Leo. "Is this how you treat Melody?" Leo and I got together at 18, initially hiding it from our families. Justin had been the first to suspect. He'd warned me about boundaries and forced Leo to promise lifelong care. He was a witness to our relationship, family to me, and someone Leo respected. Annoyed but restrained, Leo explained, "We broke up amicably."
Justin sneered. "Do you believe that yourself?" "This birthday party is over," he said firmly. "Melody, I'll take you home." Not wasting words, Justin noticed Leo and Lucy's intertwined hands and added, "We don't stay in the same space as heartless jerks." His words amused me, a faint smile forming. Tapping my cane, I slowly moved toward him. But as I passed Lucy, she stretched out her foot and tripped me. I fell forward uncontrollably. "Melody!" Leo shouted in alarm, rushing over. His warm hand supported my waist. "If we've broken up, act like it. Watch that side of yours." Justin slapped Leo's hand away and caught me firmly, helping me stand. If you'd provoked Leo like this before, he'd have punched someone already, he said coldly. Leo held back, teeth clenched. I don't take back gifts I've given. He was referring to the necklace still on the table. Then throw it away, I said softly, exhaustion creeping in. I walked back, picked up the necklace, and without hesitation tossed it into the trash. The night breeze through the car window slowly loosened the tight knot in my chest. Thank you, Justin. Justin standing up for me against Leo, risking offense the moment he returned to the country, truly moved me. He had left the year of the earthquake. We hadn't seen each other for 3 years. I'd been so caught up in Leo that our childhood bond had faded. I heard your father likes antiques. My dad recently got a set of ancient Chinese teawares. I'll bring them by sometime. Afraid words alone wouldn't feel sincere enough, I hurried to add that. Justin paused, then laughed. Melody, there's no need to be so formal with me. In his voice, I caught a fleeting trace of something hard to define. Melancholy, perhaps. Here's your birthday present. He quickly composed himself and tossed a rectangular box into my lap. Thanks. Is this a necklace? I joked. Out with the old, in with the new. Justin didn't laugh. He studied me quietly for a moment, then asked, like an old friend catching up, How have you been these past 3 years? Feeling the air shift, I knew he was waving a hand in front of my face. I chuckled. It's true. I can't see. Justin clenched his fist, his voice rough with restrained emotion. If only I'd known Leo would turn out like this. Justin was usually gentle, always smiling, teasing lightly. Seeing such raw, open anger from him for the first time surprised me and touched me. From tonight on, I said softly but firmly, he and I are done. From 18 to 25, we were together for 7 years. I loved him with everything I had. When I let go, I didn't hesitate. He's not good enough for you, Justin said after a pause, his voice hoarse. Melody, you should look at other men, too. I thought he was just comforting me and smiled in agreement. By the way, he added as the car started again, changing the subject, there might be a way to treat your eyes, but the risk is huge. If the surgery fails, it could cause cerebral palsy. I turned toward the window. No matter how wide I forced my eyes open, all I saw was darkness. Over the past 3 years, my parents had exhausted every resource searching for renowned doctors. Nothing worked. I had already given up hope. Justin spoke calmly, explaining from his medical background. Most of your optic nerves are severed. Recovery is possible, but with the current medical level here, it's risky. If we could bring in a top overseas eye surgeon, it might work. I smiled bitterly. There's an eye expert in the U.S., Mrs. Lisa, but hasn't she retired to teach? People say even money can't reach her. Not necessarily. Justin's smile turned sly. If my eyes worked, I would have seen the sparkle in his eyes, the mischievous smile playing on his lips, clearly waiting for praise. Lucky me, he said. I studied optometry abroad. Mrs. Lisa is my mentor. When I was lying in the hospital undergoing eye and brain tests, everything felt unreal. Mrs. Lisa would be arriving in China in 2 weeks, and Justin's parents had already arranged a VIP room for me. Justin worked at this hospital and often visited during his breaks. He told funny stories from our childhood, making me laugh out loud. The awkward distance from years apart slowly melted away, sometimes making me feel like we were kids again. The only difference, Leo wasn't there. On the second day of my hospital stay, Justin brought a big, fluffy dog, a smiling angel of a Samaritan. Hope it brings you joy. I couldn't hide my excitement. After going blind, I'd wanted a guide dog, but Leo was allergic to dog hair, so I gave up the idea. Since childhood, no matter how cute the cats and dogs I met, I never lingered, afraid of getting fur on me and making him cough. Now, it was perfect. I kept petting the Samaritan's head. It's so well behaved. What should we name it? How about Hobby? Justin suggested lightly. All right, I smiled. Hobby it is. Hello, smiling angel. Hobby. Hobby brought a beam of light into my dark world. It had some training and could act as a half guide dog. It loved leading me to roll around on the grass downstairs and rubbing my palm. That day, as usual, we were basking in the sun on the lawn when an unexpected guest appeared. Lucy. She strutted over in high heels, looking down at me with thinly veiled mockery. Melody, no wonder you're a rich family's princess. You can even summon an eye surgery expert. By the way, why did you leave so suddenly that day? You didn't even take the gift? We put a lot of thought into it. I cut her off coldly. Miss Lucy, you're still addicted to cheap thrills. She froze, then sneered back. Do you think fixing your eyes will bring Leo back? Keep dreaming. He's been sick of you for a long time. So that was her angle. I almost found it amusing. Can't live without a man, can you? I asked myself. I heard Leo spent a lot on you. You used to be a background actress, and now you've climbed into second tier by cozying up to a rich boy. People online call you the queen of bad dramas. Miss Lissy, why don't you work on your acting? She probably thought I was gentle and refined. She clearly didn't expect such a sharp counterattack. She froze, then erupted in rage. Lucy, you're just a blind girl. What right do you have to lecture me? Do you know what Leo says about you? He says he's sick of you. In bed, you're like a dead fish. No reaction. He loves me and will definitely marry me. Her filthy words pierced straight through my chest. Hobby sensed the hostility. Wagging its tail, it ran over and barked furiously at Lucy. Seeing it was just a Samaritan and not dangerous, she kicked it viciously. Get lost, you crazy dog! Despite the pain and yelps, Hobby planted itself firmly in front of me. My temples throbbed. I grabbed my cane and swung it. The first strike hit her calf. Melody, are you insane? Lucy screamed, collapsing halfway to the ground. When you lose one sense, the others sharpen. I struck her again. She screamed, How dare you? Leo won't spare you. Why wouldn't I? My voice was icy, laced with frost. You said it yourself. I am a rich family's princess. Do you think I'd fear a vulgar third-rate actress? I pointed the thick cane at her and enunciated every word. Lucy, don't test me, or you'll get beaten every time you provoke me. The next day, I led Hobby home to grab clean clothes. Justin drove us to the door. Don't you want to come in? I asked. My parents would love to see you. Justin rolled down the window and smiled. I have surgery this afternoon. I'll visit Uncle and Aunt another time. Justin might look calm, but he's always been the most rebellious one. Since childhood, he had no interest in the family business, only medicine. 3 years ago, a massive fight with his parents finally sent him abroad to study. I was genuinely happy he could follow his passion. All right then, drive safe. I waved goodbye. As the car roared away, I held Hobby's leash in one hand and my cane in the other, feeling surprisingly light as I walked inside.
Before I even reached the door, someone grabbed my wrist hard, yanking me aside without a word, completely ignoring my unsteady steps. Leo! As he moved closer, I called his name. What are you doing? He deliberately blocked my way, pressure radiating from him. His voice was low and deep. This isn't the place to talk. Let's go to my place. How could someone say that so casually to an ex? Anger flared. I struggled to break free. If you have something to say it here. And let me remind you, we've broken up. Don't get entangled. Leo stared blankly at the hand I had shaken off so mercilessly. After a long pause, he spoke, accusatory. Melody, are you really that impatient? You hit someone over a dog? I understood immediately. Lucy must have complained to him. She just teased you a bit, Leo added. Endure it and it'll pass. Is it really that serious? My mind flashed to the woman who once called me a blind girl, whom Leo smashed with a bottle in a rage. I remembered nagging him afterward to control his temper. Back then, he'd buried his face in my neck and murmured, It's not a small matter, Melody. I won't let you suffer any injustice. How ironic.
For a split second, I wanted to grab him and ask whether his promises had been eaten by dogs, but hearts change when they change. There was no point explaining. I stepped back, creating distance, and said coldly, "I can't endure it." Then I added quietly, "Believe it or not, if you act crazy again, my cane might land on you next." Leo dragged me into a corner despite my resistance. Just as I thought he'd stand up for his new girlfriend, he suddenly bent down and hugged me. "Melody," he whispered, "please, just wait a little longer." Like countless times before, his head rested against my neck, his warm breath brushing my skin. I couldn't help laughing. The way he looked right now, anyone who didn't know better might think he was schizophrenic. Before I could push Leo away, a sudden force yanked him off me, followed by a heavy punch to his face. "Leo, what are you thinking you're doing?" It was Justin. He'd come back. The two of them immediately started fighting. Listening closely, I realized it was completely one-sided. Justin was beating Leo down, while Leo didn't fight back at all, silently taking every hit. Hobby was startled, barking wildly at the side, almost like he was cheering Justin on. "Justin!" Seeing no sign of the beating stopping, I called out, "That's enough. I still need to get my clothes. Take me back." The thick, menacing aura around Justin vanished the moment I spoke. He spat out a curse. Justin's swearing was something I'd never heard. It just shows how much he despised Leo, that traitor. I giggled softly, trying to calm him. Let's not lower ourselves to the level of scumbags. Most of Justin's anger faded at my smile. "Melody, let's go." Leaving Leo sprawled on the ground, the two of us walked away, with Hobby. Leo never said a word the entire time, but his gaze, almost tangible, remained fixed on me. We were in a quiet corner, still some distance from the villa. It had rained the night before, and the road was slippery. Noticing how difficult it was for me to walk, Justin extended his hand. "Melody, do you want me to hold your hand?" As soon as he said it, he reconsidered. "How about this? You give me the cane and I'll guide you." I laughed quietly. That was Justin for you. So different from the wild, impulsive Leo. Always considerate, never doing anything that might embarrass someone. If anyone had passed by, they would have seen a strange yet beautiful scene. A woman holding one end of a cane, the other end in the hand of a tall, elegant man who was also holding the leash of a snow-white Samoyed. Suddenly, I remembered something. "Justin, don't you have surgery today?" As soon as I left the neighborhood, I saw Leo's car parked by the road and rushed back. Luckily, he didn't get the chance to do anything to you. He must have winked as he said teasingly, "You're far more important than surgery." I thanked him sincerely. "Justin, you've really helped me so much. How about I come over and crash dinner at your place tonight? Will your parents mind?" "Of course not. They'd be thrilled." A few days later, Leo made a high-profile Facebook announcement, his engagement to Lucy, the story of a wealthy playboy falling in love with a bright, passionate young actress dominated the headlines. Some sensational reporters remembered me, the supposedly forgotten first love, comparing my looks to Lucy's and spinning stories about a doppelganger romance. Leo personally denied the rumors, saying it was pure coincidence that we looked alike. He loved Lucy for who she was, not her face. When Justin told me all this, the nerve repair surgery had already been a success. My eyes were wrapped in gauze again, but this time my heart was full of joy and anticipation for the light. My mom was overwhelmed, crying by my bedside, peeling apples for me. "I thought Leo was devoted, but he found another woman before you two were even married. Looks like Justin is still the best. You two know each other so well. In my opinion, you should just be together." I couldn't help laughing and crying at the same time. "Mom, stop matchmaking. I see Justin as a brother. Besides, he already has someone he likes." Since I couldn't see their expressions, I kept talking. The other day, I overheard a young nurse asking for his Instagram. He said it himself, didn't he? "Right, Justin?" Justin paused for a moment, then smiled warmly, squinting slightly. "Auntie, Melody's right. I do like someone, so I don't add other girls on Instagram." Naturally, my thoughts drifted back to the women around Leo. Even though I loved him deeply, I'd occasionally feel upset.
You always say it's just an act, but what if it becomes real? Who am I supposed to cry to? Leo would always kiss me breathless and whisper in my ear, "Melody, you're the only one in my heart." Yet the next day, he'd still flirt effortlessly with those women. Snapping back to the present, I asked Justin, "So when are you going to introduce us to this famous girlfriend of yours?" He seemed lost in sweet memories. After a moment, he replied, "I'm still pursuing her. I wrote her many love letters when I was abroad." Then he raised his eyebrows and said seriously, "I haven't won her over yet, but I've already proposed." Both my mom and I were stunned. "What do you mean?" my mom exclaimed. "You skipped dating and went straight to proposing? Justin, you can't be that impulsive. You need to take it slow to win a girl's heart." Justin didn't seem bothered. "I've waited long enough. I want to be with her as soon as possible." Hearing that, I thought of Leo again. I'd waited 7 years, exactly 7 years. I'd subtly asked him countless times when he planned to propose, but he always used the excuse of needing to establish his career first. "You know my stepmother sees me as a thorn in her side. I need to take back everything that's mine before I can confidently propose to your parents. Wait a little longer, Melody. Once everything's settled, I'll give you the grandest wedding." Wait a little longer, that was what Leo said to me most often. So what happened? My mom caught the key point. Did the girl agree? Justin lowered his eyes, thinking, "She hasn't given me an answer yet." "Then it probably won't work out," my mom sighed. I thought there was still a chance. From the way Justin spoke, he sounded sincere, like he truly wanted to get married. "Justin," I said earnestly, "I hope you win her heart soon." Justin let out a soft laugh, his tone unusually gentle. "Then I'll take Melody's blessing." Days passed quickly. My mom stayed with me, hobby kept me company, and Justin would visit after work telling funny stories. As for Leo missing his own engagement party, I heard about it from 2 young nurses. "Was all that sweetness just a PR move?" one of them whispered. "I always wondered, why would a rich guy fall for a third-rate actress? I heard Leo did it on purpose to provoke his stepmother. Rich people's schemes are deep." Just then, Justin walked in carrying washed fruit. The nurses glanced shyly at him and quickly returned to work. "So there's more to it?" Justin asked carefully. "Melody, will you forgive him?" I shook my head with a faint smile. Having reasons doesn't excuse hurting someone. Justin seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, then grew animated again. "Exactly! He can talk. Why didn't he explain? Even if everything with Lucy was fake, the damage was real. You can't forgive him. Even if Leo kneels and begs, you have to reject him hard." I smiled. "Don't worry." My eyesight recovered smoothly. When Justin finally removed the bandages, my parents took time off work to come to the hospital. Light, long forgotten, pierced my eyes. I squinted. Then slowly, everything came into focus. In the white hospital room, my parents stood in front of me, watching anxiously. A snow-white Samyud sat on the floor, panting. And there was Justin, in his white coat, sharp features, strong brows, silver-framed glasses resting on his nose. His eyes were filled with warmth as he looked at me. I could finally see. The moment I spoke, my mom's lips trembled and tears fell. "That's wonderful, Melody, wonderful." Even my usually composed dad paced excitedly around the room. My own eyes filled with tears. 3 years after the earthquake, I could finally see the world's colors again. Justin smiled gently. "We'll observe for a few more days. If everything goes well, you can be discharged soon." My mom stepped forward and took his hand. "Justin, you found Dr. Lisa and cured our only daughter. Whatever you want, just say it. From now on, if you need anything, your uncle and I will do our best to help." My dad nodded firmly. "Yes, our family owes you greatly." Justin waved it off. "It's not just you who wanted Melody cured. I wanted it too." My mom nodded approvingly. "You've always treated Melody like your own sister, always so good to her. Why don't we just adopt Justin and make him our son?"
I was so excited about regaining my sight that I spent too long on my phone. Justin advised me to rest my eyes and take a half-hour nap. I just closed my eyes when I heard Justin quietly walk in. He gently tucked me in and stood by the bed. Just as I wondered whether he knew I was pretending to sleep, a fresh woody scent surrounded me. A warm touch landed softly on my forehead, then withdrew. I clenched my fingers, stopping myself from gasping. Justin kissed me. The thought flashed through my mind, but I immediately pushed it away. Justin had always been the most well-mannered person I knew. He respected boundaries. What did that kiss mean? Even if it was just on the forehead, we weren't siblings. It was easy to misunderstand. And besides, he admitted himself that he liked someone else. He even proposed. My thoughts were a complete mess. Just as I hesitated, unsure whether I should wake up, the door to the hospital room was suddenly flung open. Someone rushed in and threw a punch straight at Justin's face. "Justin, I should have known your intentions towards Melody weren't pure." Leo? Wasn't he supposed to be busy fighting over the family inheritance? What was he doing here? It would have been rude to keep pretending to sleep, so I calmly sat up and called out, "Stop it." Leo froze and looked up in shock. "Melody, you can see?" He was wearing a black hoodie with dark blue jeans. His sharp, well-defined features were striking. At 26, he still looked youthful. After 3 years, I was finally seeing his face again. The moment our eyes met, Leo forgot all about attacking Justin. His fingers trembled as he reached out, trying to grab me. I stepped back, leaving his hand hanging uselessly in midair. When he looked up again, his voice shook as if he were on the verge of tears. "I'm sorry, Melody. I'm so sorry. I'm late." "You really should apologize," I said flatly. "But what's the point of saying this now?" Justin let out a bitter laugh. "Leo, how do you even have the nerve to face her?" One side of Justin's face was visibly swollen from the punch. Leo turned on him with a hateful glare. "Pretending to be her brother while making moves on her? Aren't you disgusting?" I replied coldly, "That's between us. It's none of your business." Then I looked at Justin, my voice softening. "Go get your wound treated first. I'll talk to him alone." Justin took a few steps, then turned back. His peach blossom eyes were filled with regret and restraint. "Sorry, I thought you were asleep. I couldn't control myself." I gave him a reassuring smile. "I have a lot of questions for you. We'll talk after I'm discharged." Soon, only Leo and I were left in the room. I picked up a cup and took a sip of water. "Whatever you have to say it today." Leo stood there awkwardly, unsure of himself. "Melody, you saw the news, right? I didn't get engaged to Lucy. It was all staged." "Do you really think that matters?" I interrupted calmly. "With one excuse about acting, you think the cruel things you said at my birthday party can just disappear?" "I didn't want to drag you into this. You can yell at me if you want, but please, don't look at me like that." Leo's sharp eyes reddened, provoked by how calm I was. "Why aren't you angry? Didn't you always love me?" "Love you for what?" I asked flatly. "For how you got tired of me? Or for calling me a dead dog in bed?" "That wasn't true. My stepmother deliberately found someone who looked like you to seduce me. Everything I said was to mislead them. Melody, believe me." I slowly exhaled, my expression turning cold. "Whatever the reason, I don't have feelings for you anymore. None." "You're lying," he said hoarsely. "You're angry, but you can't fool me." At my words, the pampered young master's eyes stung and tears suddenly fell. Red-eyed, he pulled something from his pocket and held it out to me. It was the necklace engraved with our names, the one I had thrown away. He had actually retrieved it from the trash. "Melody, we've known each other for over 20 years. We were together for 7. You can't do this to me." My calm finally cracked, a mocking smile curling at my lips. 7 years couldn't withstand you saying, "A blind woman can't be Leo's wife," at my birthday party. That night,
I'd tossed the necklace away without hesitation, said cruel words without blinking, and walked off without looking back. Only I knew how badly it hurt. Under the table, my nails dug deep into my palms, almost drawing blood, my hand trembling with pain and rage as I wished them a happy engagement. In my memories, the lively boy stood by the basketball court as I handed him water in a white dress. I'd ridden on his back through countless summers. I thought Leo would give me a grand wedding. Instead, what I got was him holding another girl's hand and telling me, "Melody, we're done." The boy who filled my entire youth ultimately gave me betrayal. "Leo, this might be the last time I call you that," I said quietly. "From the moment you said it was over, there was no longer any possibility between us." I watched the light in Leo's eyes fade little by little. He opened his mouth, but after a long pause, overwhelmed by sorrow, he could only force out a few words. "Is it because of Justin?" "It has nothing to do with anyone else." Just then, a small fluffy ball rushed in. It was Hobby. Not understanding human language, he happily bounded toward me. Leo seemed to see hope and quickly crouched to pet Hobby's head. "Melody, look, I can pet a dog. After we get married, you can keep as many cats and dogs as you want. You won't have to worry about me." Before he could finish, Leo sneezed and began coughing violently, bending over and crutching his mouth as if he might cough himself senseless. I ignored him, squatted down, picked up Hobby, and spoke calmly. "It doesn't like you. That's all. Now go." That day near my home, when Leo cornered me and asked me to wait a little longer, I'd already guessed most of the truth. But what did dealing with his stepmother have to do with me? Leo always said he loved me, yet his actions kept hurting me. There's a saying, love that isn't felt means nothing. I agree deeply. The day after I was discharged, my parents took me to Justin's house. The three of us brought many gifts. My dad even brought a Qing Dynasty tea set he'd recently won at a charity auction as a thank you. In the living room, the adults chatted while Justin tugged at my sleeve. "Hey, the house was just renovated. We got a lot of new furniture. Want me to show you around?" "Sure," I said, eager for a chance to talk privately. But before we'd gone through more than a few rooms, his mom called him into the kitchen to cut fruit. Pointing to the study, Justin said, "Wait in there. I'll be right back." I stepped into the study, which had a classic, vintage feel. Uncle's antiques filled the room. On the desk lay a stack of thick envelopes, their corners yellowed with age. I leaned closer and froze. Every letter was addressed to me. Curiosity won. I picked one up and started reading. As I went on, a wave of emotion hit me. I pulled out all the letters, skimming through them in disbelief. Then it hit me. Every single one was written for me, filled with tender words. They were all signed by Justin, dated from his 3 years abroad. His words echoed in my mind. I wrote her many love letters. So these were them, the letters he wrote but never sent. A gust of wind blew through the window, scattering the letters across the floor. One landed at someone's feet. Through the fluttering pages, I met Justin's eyes. His beautiful almond-shaped eyes were full of affection. "Melody," he said softly, "I left them in the study on purpose. I've liked you, or maybe I should say had a crush on you, long before Leo." I stammered. "But you said you liked someone." He smiled gently, overflowing with warmth. "It's always been you. Only you." I hardly believed it. "When I was dating Leo, you never showed jealousy." He sighed quietly. "I was afraid you'd push me away if you knew, but now I don't want to be just your brother anymore." Something suddenly clicked. My voice turned hoarse. "Did you go abroad to study because of me?" I majored in optometry and chose Richard as my mentor. From the very beginning, it was all for you. A flash of pain crossed Justin's eyes as he recalled the past.
Melody, my biggest regret is not finding you sooner during that earthquake, not being able to protect you. My eyes and nose burned. How could I have been so oblivious? This gentle, restrained man had done so much for me, even while I loved someone else, without expecting anything in return. I thought I only had Leo, but Justin had loved me silently all these years too. You don't need to feel pressured, Justin added. My dad initially opposed me studying medicine, but it was you who gave me the courage to defy him and chase my dream. I turned my face away, afraid to meet his eyes would make me cry. After saying all that, Justin gave a playful wink. Miss Melody, can I give me a chance to pursue you? Taking a deep breath to steady myself, I replied, my voice trembling with tears. Justin, thank you for everything you've done and for loving me all this time. I'm sorry. Because of my last relationship, I can't give you a clear answer right now. But I'm truly, deeply grateful you're in my life, whether as a brother or something more. Saying it all in one breath made me feel lighter. It's okay, Melody. As if he'd expected this, Justin smiled just as warmly as ever. Can I hug you? He looked at me with anticipation and tension. Afraid I might refuse, his fair hands lifted, then fell again. If it's too much, forget it. At that moment, a line from the Broken Stories by Salinger came to mind. Some people think love is sex, marriage, and kisses at 6 a.m, or lots of kids. But do you know what I think? I think love is wanting to touch, yet holding back. Justin's love for me was exactly like that, hands that longed to reach out yet always pulled away. A tear slid quietly down my cheek. This time, I didn't hesitate. I stepped forward and gently hugged him. After getting home, I rummaged through my drawers and found the rectangular box Justin had given me. There were so many gifts, some I hadn't even opened yet. Holding my breath, I slowly opened the blue velvet box. Inside was indeed a necklace, its silver chain softly shimmering. But it wasn't just a necklace. Hanging at the end was a ring. He had proposed to me in his own way. 8 years with Leo, and not once had he proposed. Yet Justin, who wasn't even officially in a relationship with me, had already planned our future. For the next few days, I was constantly distracted, often staring into space. My dad thought I was still hung up on Leo and suggested I travel to clear my mind. My mom whispered something cryptic to him. Let the young ones handle their own matters. At dinner the next day, my mom sighed deeply, looking worried. Do you know Justin got stabbed by a mentally unstable patient's family member? I was stunned. What? When? Why didn't you tell me earlier? At that moment, nothing else mattered. I dropped my chopsticks and rushed to the hospital. I was on edge the entire way, urging the driver to hurry. I haven't even agreed to be with you yet, I thought aimlessly. Justin, please be okay. But when I arrived at Justin's office, it was empty. Looking for Justin? A nurse asked curiously. I nodded. He's in the VIP room, talking to a new patient. Take the elevator to the top floor. I was about to ask whether Justin was hurt when my phone buzzed with a message from my mom. Just kidding. He's fine. Take your time and talk. The nurse added, the VIP room is occupied by the famous heir, Leo. He's been going through a lot lately. He drank himself senseless and ended up vomiting blood. The next day, he lost control speeding on the highway and got into a car accident. The car was totaled. She paused, then continued. Miraculously, he survived, but the visual center of his brain was damaged. It caused temporary blindness. In simple terms, he can't see. Justin's clear voice drifted out through the slightly open door, and I instinctively listened. Karma really exists, Leo. When you looked down on Melody for being blind, did you ever think you'd end up like this one day? Leo had broken a leg in the crash and couldn't even get up to hit him. Gritting his teeth, he cursed, taking advantage of someone when they're down. How shameless. Justin wasn't magnanimous at all. He snapped back. Selfish jerk, hurting the people closest to you just to protect your own interests. Melody might look gentle, but she's firm at heart. She can't tolerate deceit. You completely deserve this. Leo was so furious he couldn't catch his breath and started coughing violently. Stop pretending to be a hero. All you want is to steal her from me, Justin. How are you any better? There was a desperate possessiveness in Leo's eyes. You're wrong, Justin said, looking down at him. His expression softened when he spoke of me. She doesn't have to be with me. I just want her to be happy. Then he asked quietly, but did you manage that? Leo fell silent, stunned and unable to respond. When Justin turned to leave, he noticed me peeking through the door. Joy instantly spread across his face as he walked towards me. Melody? Then his eyes dropped, and the joy was replaced with sadness. Did you come to see Leo? I shook my head quickly. No, I didn't even know he'd been in a car accident. Melody? Are you here? Leo heard my voice. His head and eyes were wrapped in bandages. He leaned towards the edge of the bed, almost pleading. Come in and see me. Seeing me like this, does it make you feel better? The once arrogant Leo was now humbled, but I didn't answer. After Justin stepped out, I gently closed the door. Don't pity him, Justin said seriously, probably afraid I'd feel sympathy for Leo. I praised him without hesitation. What you said earlier really struck me. Justin's eyes lit up, bright like our cheerful semioid hobby. Then, could Miss Melody consider giving me a chance to pursue you? No, I replied firmly. Justin's smile froze. I stood on tiptoe and whispered in his ear, You don't need to pursue me. Let's be together. Let's be together, Justin. A warm love quietly blossomed between us. You have become an inseparable part of me.